Tom, this is a review of your putting action. The the movement is pretty good. There's some setup things that you can refine that make it more consistent, but in general, it's a pretty sound stroke. There's no major flaws here. So the setup. You look at the left here. We think it's easier to duplicate if your eyes are right over the ball. In this case, they're inside by, like, I don't know, 3 inches. Like I said during the lesson, sometimes we may end up 4 inches inside, sometimes 2 inches, sometimes 3. So it's hard to tell when you're exactly in the same spot every time. Whereas if your eyes are over the ball, you can clearly tell if you're in the same spot and all. So we recommend getting your eyes over the ball. Plus, when you look up, your eye line won't be. You have to slant it so the eye line is looking at the target. Whereas if your eyes are over the ball, you rotate your head and your eyes will be right down that line. So so let's look at the stroke. The good news is your stance is not closed like it is in your full swing. It's pretty solid. Let's see just the stroke, if there's any body movement here. Okay, the head's coming out a bit. It's following the ball, and the trouble is when we follow the ball, if we ever miss a putt, we're going to peak earlier than just watch the ball. So the lower body is pretty calm. We like that. Okay, now let's look at the path. So the path is a little suspect. So you see the center of the club kind of arcs a little inside, then it goes, kind of does a fish hook. Watch this. It goes back and then goes outside. See that? Outside, and then you kind of come across and then you hold off and you keep the putter head outside. Now if you focus on the hands, you can see the hands are manipulating this thing. We got to lock in the hands, lock in the wrist, lock in the Y of the shaft and the 2 arms. Now watch on the backstroke, on the follow through. So the hands are pretty quiet. Now watch this. See the hand? See the hands? The right hand is kind of kicking in. See this? So it's here, and the right hand. Watch the right hand kind of roll over, and then you leave the club head out. So I'll show you Tiger Woods' stroke, but this isn't the worst stroke I've ever seen. It's just you build in some inconsistencies. So, and mostly because you're kind of overworking your hands. Okay, so let's look at the right. We talked about it. See how there's some forward shaft lean because the head of the club is back of center of your stance, and we want it set up for the center of the stance, right? So we talked about this. So you want the club head about there, so the ball's slightly towards the front of your stance, and you want, so you have a shaft lean there that so you only have like 3 degrees loft on the putter, and you've taken off like maybe 1.5 degrees, something like that, because of that forward shaft lean. So you're kind of driving it into the turf, if you will. Okay, so the backswing is, we went through this. This is pretty doggone good. So you see how there's no drastic flipping of the hands, or so the putt head goes out to here, about your mid toe, and so the putting stroke is just about symmetry. See how and see how if you had a flip in there, the shaft wouldn't be pointed at your sternum as it is now. It's not quite your sternum, but close enough. So we want the shaft, the butt of the club pointed at the sternum throughout the stroke. Okay. I like the way that you're holding the putter head. Now you can check to make sure you haven't flipped, but see from there to there, that's a pretty good stroke. So face on, it's pretty good. Now watch your head. See you're rotating it. Now you have that challenge with the right eye, and so you're looking, but no, look for the spot under the ball. You practice with a small, flat ball marker and all. So, but overall, that stroke is pretty solid. So just just a couple of setup refinements, and work on that path a bit. You can turn around and put the toe of the club at against some wall, and make sure that there's a slight arc, or you can do a putting stroke without a ball over a line and tile, put down a yardstick, make sure there's a slight arc inside